This is my bad bank application. So here on the homepage, I've styled it with Bootstrap card. And if you hover over bad bank, this is my home page link. Basically, if you click it, it will navigate back to index. And it turns blue as you hover over it. I've taken this icon, this image theme, and I've used it as my favicon here in the title. If you navigate over each of these links, the navbar links, it has a cute little animation displacement, an underscore, as well as a cheeky little drop-down text box. All right, so you create an account, and all three fields must be populated for this button to be enabled. It's disabled right now, but it kind of serves as the fields not empty check because you can't even click it unless all three fields are populated with something. Here we click it, it says must be at least 8 characters. So let's go ahead and try for that. Now it says please enter valid email format. So let's fix that. And then this should be a legitimate entry. We create it and success. The username is displayed dynamically, and as well as up here, the welcome username here with a logout button. So you can, now we can navigate through the transactions, or we can create another account. Let's just illustrate that. Another neat check is if you try to log in with a email that is already in the system as a user list, it will prompt you and say, this email is already associated with an account, please log in. And so conversely, if you try to sign in with an email that is not in the system, it will also say, no account found, please create an account. And when there's no one logged in, like I said, you can't access the sensitive financial information. So let's go ahead and sign in with the email that I have just created moments ago. And actually, there's one more validation. Valid password. I wanted to show you that. So now let's legitimately. Okay, that's annoying. I write my validations too well, I guess. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So now it's a welcome back sign because it knows that you're already a user, as well as the display up here. So now we can have access to the sensitive financial information, and you see here the displays of all the account details and the transaction details here. So when we go to deposit, the button is disabled. You try to deposit a negative amount, and it says it must be greater than 0. All the validations display as an alert and as well as on the card. You try to deposit not a number, please enter a valid number, it says. So let's go ahead and finally give it what it wants, a legitimate amount. As do I want $5,000. So now the balance updates dynamically and the deposit displays what it actually was. So we can withdraw. So same thing, button is disabled here. We can try to disable or try to deposit a negative amount, same dice, not a number, same twice, and now thrice. Let's try to withdraw more money than I actually have, story of my life. Withdrawal amount exceeds available balance, so there's the overdraft message. And now let's live within my means and reality, or fictional reality as I've created it. Withdraw $5,000, I wish. And now we have our balance back to 100, kind of sadly what it reflects more in real life. And $5,000 has been successfully withdrawn from my account. When we look at all data, we see that those transactions have been added to the list. So success. Things that I have changed besides the Bootstrap styling, of course, added this transaction component and nested it in all data. And I opted for a Bootstrap table versus a card because the data displayed makes more sense to be displayed in the table that way. In deposit and withdraw, I made a conscious decision not to make a form. I could have done it for deposit and withdraw, but create account and sign in were unique enough. And I was like, and it wasn't too bad. I was like, let's just keep the form on each of the components themselves. And it wasn't bad because I just copied and pasted my code from each and just changed the variables. So it was fine. And then again, when you're here, you can't sign in because you have to log out first or to create another account. So that's just another check that I have. It's an extra added feature besides the login feature. Um, Things that I learned were how to persist data. That was the biggest challenge, was how to persist data. And it was debugging and manipulate all throughout the app. And once I figured out the power of use context and it clicked, it was just like, oh, and a light bulb turned on. It was dark ages into the light. So that was a powerful tool, as well as Amazon AWS S3. That was a super powerful tool I'll use for the rest of my career, throughout my career. So it was a great learning experience. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. That's my app, and have a great day.